So, good morning, everyone. Myself, Rikida. So, I am working in the industry from last more than 8 plus years, and I am mostly specialized into AI and machine learning. Apart from that, I do other things like cloud deployment, backend development, all those stuffs. But my primary focus of work is always AI, machine learning, and data science related work. All right. So, yeah, that's a little bit of brief about myself, and we'll start the session now, and I will walk you through few slides. I'm sharing my screen. Let me know if you guys can see my screen. Okay? Can you people see my screen? So when we start this entire AWS AI thing, so we need to understand that the Python has been the main reason and the primary language that actually helped the entire AI ecosystem to grow. So, okay, so this is also a expectation because we are actually looking at AWS and AI. That Python is something basic. Python is something most of the people should be knowing before actually starting this entire AWS AI course. Because we are not going to cover Python in depth. Only going to touch Python when if it is needed. Okay, so that's the main thing. So the second thing is that in artificial intelligence, when we talk about AI, we're talking about different kinds of AI. Okay, so there are different levels of AI. Okay, so one is that machine learning, which is primarily actually developed based on some statistical analysis, some advanced smart statistical algorithm. That is what the entire AI has actually started. Now, once that machine learning has actually reached its plateau in terms of accuracy and in terms of algorithm, then we move towards the next generation of algorithms, which we call deep learning. And now, recently, whatever you are seeing, all the buzz like ChatGPT, Google Gemini, those things are now we call generative AI, right? And there is another state of artificial intelligence that we call reinforcement learning. Okay, so AI as a whole has different layers. Okay, so when we talk about AI, mostly we are actually talking about nowadays generative AI, but that's not the whole picture. We always have traditional statistical machine learning, then deep learning, then reinforcement learning, and finally, whatever the state we are now as of now is called generative AI. Okay, so yeah, that's a little bit about the misconception regarding AI. Now, additionally, the another component on our course is going to be the AWS, right? So AWS is actually primarily it's a cloud platform, but they have offered a lot of services out of the box so that the developers and the practitioners it becomes easy for them. Okay? It's become easy for them actually to use technology. So that's what a cloud is all about. Okay, so cloud technologies actually give you a lot of managed service out of the box, so that you don't have to build it from scratch. Okay, now all the artificial AI stuff that we have been working since last 10 20 years, we can redo it every time. We can do the coding, we can host our own service, create our own service, but rather than doing that, we can simply go to any cloud provider and use their already ready-made services. Okay, so I'll come to that in detail, but in AWS, why it becomes so important in nowadays in AI ecosystem, because most of the companies out there, almost 80 to 90% AI ecosystem. Azure is also not taking progress, but AWS is a well-established cloud platform. So most of the companies out there is already taking already in the AWS environment, including their all their existing product. Now they are not most of them are actually not building the AI from scratch. They're simply using what AWS is actually offering in terms of services, and they are making their existing product line AI enabled. Okay, rather than doing it from scratch, writing every model or every algorithm from scratch. Okay, we'll come more again into this. We'll go deeper into this. But before we even go forward, we should know why AI job market is actually along with AWS, why it's becoming lucrative. Like I already told you the reason that most of the companies and product out there is already on AWS, and the AI is the hottest tech out there. So if we know what are the AI services and how to use them, how to develop products with the AI services that is in the AWS, that becomes a very win-win situation for the as a job seeker or as a developer. That becomes a very win-win situation for the company as well as you. Okay, so there are a lot of skill gaps in the market. If you see in a day-to-day news, you can see a lot of news that there is a scarcity of resources in the AI ecosystem, right? So there are here are some basic stats. Okay, sorry, 16,000 posting on October 2024 all alone. Okay, so and AI is now getting used widely everywhere in almost every domain or every kind of tech. Like it can be fintech, it can be health tech, it can be HR tech, just name it. Okay, anywhere you can see the AI thing. Okay, and with AWS it becomes very lucrative. So some of the job title you can see in the AI ecosystem is commonly we all have heard about machine learning engineers. Okay, those are the most common roles. Okay, then we have computer vision and generative AI engineer. Now generative AI engineers are now the hottest demand out there because it's the newest thing and it can does a lot of cool stuff. So generative AI engineers are the most in demand as of now. Machine learning engineers, yes, but they are very numerous, like lot of machine learning engineer already in the market. So computer vision, generative AI engineers, these roles are actually getting a lot of traction in the job market. Okay, so additionally, you can see like the salaries are also very lucrative. Uh, most of the like salaries are given by actually the IT segment, generative AI and IT combined. Uh, like sales and marketing in finance and business operation, they are a little bit lower in comparison to what generative AI and the R&D in the IT segment is what is offering in terms of salary. Okay. All right. Now, like I already mentioned, we need to know three different components here in this entire course. One is the Python, okay? Because without Python, we can. I'm not saying that without Python we can't learn about AI and AWS, but if you know Python, you get an upper edge because most of the in the job market that Python is actually is an highly demanded skill. We can do it with JavaScript as well, but Python is much more rich library and versatile community while working on the AI field. So it helps a lot. So Python now which libraries in Python, TensorFlow and PyTorch, if you want to build it from your own algorithm and own model, but we will not be focusing building our own AI models. Rather than we'll be utilizing the what AI, AWS has already to offer us. So TensorFlow and PyTorch will not be using in this entire course. What are the different things we are going to do? We are going to do computer vision related project, and we are also going to do a natural language processing related project. Okay. Now, natural language processing is basically all the things that you are seeing, ChatGPT, Google Gemini, all those things actually comes under natural language processing. Okay. So we're going to do one project at the end of the course, and computer vision is also something I'm going to do one project using AWS AI ecosystem. Okay, both AWS AI. So one project for natural language processing, one project for computer vision. Okay, now computer vision is basically image processing, video processing. Basically, looking at image, we can some extract some meaningful data, and also in looking at the video, analyzing a video, we can extract some meaningful data. So computer vision and natural language processing, these are the two things we are gonna cover using the AWS AI ecosystem, and we are also going to do one project towards the end of the course. Okay, so yeah, uh, so AI talent gap, and it's something not we're making it up. You can Google it. So there are a lot of skill gap in terms of AI in the AI ecosystem. So if anyone is actually willing to go for a learn AI thing, he is gonna be in a very high demand. So that is that is the main thing. Talent shortage is there. So there is a lot of room to get very high demand job. Okay, now people are there are actually initiative by AWS as well. There are some you know courses out there given curated by AWS. Also talk about that, because once we complete this entire course, you guys should be also ready. You people should be ready to take up on the next stage, where you should get professional certification from the AWS ecosystem. So that gives you another level of credibility in the job market. Okay, so we're going to talk about that AIDT initiative and how to crack that, because those are actually exams, and you have to prepare that for exam, and you have to go for that certification, give the exam, clear it, and get the certification. So we call it like AI certifications from AWS. Okay, so yeah, that's it. So this entire purpose of this entire course is gonna be basics of Python. Whenever I can, I'll brush you up with some Python skills. We'll also look at the different natural language processing and image computer vision aspects on the AI side offered by AWS, and how to use them using Python. And lastly, we're going to also do some real-time project, that one in natural language processing domain, and the another one is computer vision. And additionally, I'll also tell you how to leverage the knowledge that you have got grabbed from this entire course to go to the next step, which is certifications by AWS. Okay, now certifications by AWS will you have to give an exam, you have to prepare for it, you have to give the exam, and you have to, if you clear it, you get a certification from the AWS. Then you can actually showcase yourself as a certified AI practitioner or certified AI developer from AWS, which adds a lot more credibility uh, in the market. Okay, all right. So how many of you people are actually new to this AWS thing? I'm just sharing a very uh, this overall. This is what the dashboard is. Okay, so I use AWS on a day-to-day basis. So if you see here, yeah, I've been already using some AI service from AWS. I'll go through that. Uh, So one is that Amazon Bedrock. I'll show you how we can actually take leverage of that. There is another service called AWS SageMaker. I'll also cover that up in the entire course. Um, and yeah, we can also take EC2 instance, but for now we'll be actually working with our local laptop, and how to connect to the AI ecosystem as well. Okay. Uh, all right. Now let's start this. Core AWS AI service that we have, okay, in different uh, segments. Now, like I spoke, AWS Amazon SageMaker. Amazon SageMaker, like let's see here. So in Amazon SageMaker, what we can do is that it actually helps us, gives me an end-to-end from data collection to AI training. Okay, so it's a you can think it like it's a Amazon SageMaker studio. Okay, it's a studio from collecting the data to do the analytics, and after doing the analytics, you clear up with come up with the right data, structured, clean data, and then what you start doing, you try start training your model in the Amazon SageMaker, AWS SageMaker environment. Okay, why? Because if you try to do the same thing in your local laptop or try to write everything from scratch, it will take much more time. But in Amazon SageMaker, since all the services are mostly already available, pre-available, you don't have to do everything from scratch. Okay, most of the things will be already there. You would need to know what to utilize, how to utilize. That's all the plan. Okay, here. So that is what Amazon SageMaker is use. We'll cover that as well. Now, second is that Amazon recognition. Okay. Now, Amazon recognition is a part of computer vision. Okay, computer vision. So we already spoke about computer vision, right? Where a machine
Excuse,
learn.
sir, excuse me, sir. Can I ask one question?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Please go ahead.
So, what you can achieve in Amazon Bedrock, sir?
Oh, yeah,
What
yeah.
to?
Yeah, we'll come to that as well. Amazon
Okay,
Bedrock
okay,
as well, one by one, one by one.
okay.
Okay. So, SageMaker is for training any kind of AI model. Okay, any kind of AI model. Basically, it's a fully customized environment. Okay, Amazon recognition is very specific. Okay, very specific towards image and video. Okay, so when we talk about Amazon recognition, we can actually do video analysis and image analysis. So it falls under computer vision. Okay, so it is specifically designed for computer vision, unlike SageMaker, which is for anything. Uh, you have an idea, you want to create your own machine learning model, go for SageMaker. But if you have some kind of image or video to analyze, you can actually choose Amazon Recognition. It already has some pre-trained libraries and models as well. You can also build your custom models. Okay. Now, Amazon Comprehend is for natural language processing, uh, and Amazon Lex is for natural language processing as well as natural language and understanding. So chatbot. Okay. Now these two are slowly getting outdated. Amazon Comprehend and Amazon Lex. The reason is that now we have generative AI. Now natural language processing and natural language understanding through generative AI is much more accurate than what this traditional deep learning and machine learning based approach used to give us. So this Amazon Comprehend and Amazon Lex, uh, those are actually this, especially this Amazon Labs, those are actually built on traditional deep learning. Okay, traditional deep learning approach. But now we have generative AI to do the same thing at a much more easy and intuitive way. Okay, so how we do that? We do that with Amazon Bedrock. Okay, I hope I answered your question now. Amazon Bedrock uh, is used for generative AI. So this is particularly the hottest segment in the AWS ecosystem as of now, because most of the people are actually looking at AWS Bedrock, because everyone wants to actually get into generative AI. And using generative AI, we can actually create the chatbot, the NLP, natural language processing in the natural language and understanding part very easily. Okay, very easily. So uh, what do you have here? So in AWS Bedrock, we have some foundational model already. So if you look at the available models in the AWS Bedrock ecosystem, you can see has Anthropic, Acri AI, Bri AI, Camb AI. So go here, DeepSeek. DeepSeek you have heard. Everyone, I think, you people have heard. Okay. So all these models are already available in AWS Bedrock. Okay, you just need to create a AWS account, and after creating the AWS account, what you need to do, uh, you just simply need to request the access for any specific model. Right now I am using Claude, Anthropic Claude 3.7 on it. uh, and once your access is granted, then you can start using the model straight from the AWS ecosystem rather than hosting it by yourself. Okay, so there are a lot of models. Okay, there are a lot of models. Uh, as you can see here, you can filter it out. There are a lot of models already available. Okay. So that is the main thing here. AWS Bedrock. Now, okay. So what is it actually to build the AI product from in AWS from scratch, like from planning to deployment? Okay, so it takes few different components. Okay, so one is that AWS step functions that actually gives you some automatic data collection pipeline that actually triggers collecting new data and all those stuffs. Then you have AWS Glue and S3. Now Glue is a platform where you process your data. Okay, because see, the main idea of this entire course is this AI in AWS. So we want to do everything on the AWS rather than doing it on our laptop. So this entire pipeline we could have actually built in our own laptop as well. Okay, but for that we have to write our custom code. But what AWS gives us, like you don't have to write anything on your own. Everything, not everything with us. So AWS tells us like, okay, 50% of things will be already having available in our ecosystem. Rest of the 50% you can do customization. So that makes the things very easy. So rather than writing our own triggering functions are basically what it is. Like you want to collect new data, you want to clean some new data, you want to pre-process data. Those are kind of triggers, right? Triggers to train the AI, use the AI, those kind of things. Okay, so rather than writing our own custom functions, triggering functions, we can use AWS step functions service. Okay, that will help us trigger different flow in entire and in the entire AI pipeline. Okay. What is the next step? We need to use AWS Glue and S3. Okay, AWS Glue is basically an environment where we process our data. Okay, so see, one thing is processing data, another thing is training the data. These are two different things. These are two different things. Data processing and data training. Most people get confused that these are the same thing, but these are not. Okay, data processing is the process of converting raw, unstructured data to a structured data that is ready for training. Okay, I'm repeating that again. Data processing is the step where we clean and structure the raw, unstructured data to proper structured and clean data. That is the data processing, which makes it ready for AI training. Okay? Now, how do we do the AI training once the data is clean and structured? We use SageMaker, right? Either we
Sir,
SageMaker, yeah.
sir, so in AWS Glue and S3,
Mhm.
whatever data we collected from other sources, that will make it as a structured and structure data structuring will be done in Glue and S3.
Yes. So Glue will do the processing. It will save
Okay.
in S. It will save in S.
S3.
Yeah.
So processing here is it is structures and unstructured all classification it does and it saves in S3, right?
Right. Right.
Okay, 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 okay. Okay.
One second. Actually, let me show you that as well. So we call it as a complete data integration service. Okay.
It
End to
is
end.
it is lambda function serverless
No, no, it
glue.
is not Lambda or some serverless. It is already a managed service. It is called ETL, extract
Okay, okay,
transform. It is a ETL tool, AWS tool. Okay.
okay, okay.
Now it has its own domain. Okay, it's a very big domain. ETL itself is a very big domain. But what we are gonna leverage, we are only gonna leverage as some part of it. Basically, connect some triggers and some data source so that AWS group can actually process it for us for our own training our own model. Okay,
What is it?
custom.
ETL, sir? ETL extract that
Extract, transform,
extract.
load.
Okay,
Extract,
okay,
transform, load. Okay, I
okay.
will note to writing that here. So extract, we can note it down. Extract, transform, load. Okay, so basically this is a three-step process. So whenever there is a ETL pipeline, data goes basically we have to extract the data from different sources, right? That's the first step. Transform is basically transform the data as per our rules and guidelines, the whatever we need to do, and load it. Load means basically load the final data into the environment to get the AI training up and running. Okay, so that's what in very short. Okay, so this is called ETL. Okay, all right. Now we convert everything and process everything using AWS Glue, and we save the output in S3. S3 is what? S3 is for storage. We call it simple storage service. 3S is there, so that's why it is S3. Okay, simple storage service. So it's nothing like a hard disk on cloud. That's it. It's very simple. It's like hard disk on cloud. Now, once the data is ready and structured, we can go for either SageMaker, or if you have any kind of specific pipeline like Amazon Recognition or AWS Bedrock, then we can use that as well. So SageMaker supports everything, like any kind of custom model, which is also available in AWS Bedrock and AWS Recognition. Okay, but if you don't want to use SageMaker, maybe you want to use a AWS Bedrock for training a generative AI model, then you can also do that. Basically, you can actually fine tune that. Okay, we call it fine tune. So these are the foundation model that I have already showed you, like Anthropic, DeepSeek. Those are the fluff, that thing. And apart from that, we have this fine tuning settings. Where it should be. Let me check that. Few more. What's this? One second. Yeah. So basically, whatever the ready data you have done using AWS Glue, we can feed it in the knowledge base, in the AWS Bedrock, which will start working along with your large language model like DeepSeek and Anthropic. Okay? So knowledge base we can add straight from the AWS Glue and S3. Okay, we can connect that, and whatever the model you'll be using, it will be using. It will be always referring to the data that you have given in the knowledge base from Glue and S3. Okay, so that is another way of doing that. And lastly, there is model monitor steps. Okay, because when we do the training and we do the deployment, we need to keep track of few things. Okay, those few things are basically like what is the accuracy, what is the latency, how many time like model is failing to give a response, how much time it is taking for a single response. Okay, what are the accuracy measures, what are the like because see we every AI model has a kind of accuracy metrics, right? Metrics for to check its accuracy. So what are the accuracy measures we want to track? Those kind of different attributes we can use to get through model monitor service. Okay. Now, once everything is up and like as per our expectation in the model monitor, it is good to go. But if it goes below that, maybe we have to recollect our data, retrain our data, and deploy it again, because there is a phenomenon. You can note that down, because these things will actually help you in future. We call it model drift. Okay, we call it model drift. What is model drift? That any AI model over a period of time becomes irrelevant or outdated. So, which means we need to continuously update the model with new data and training. Okay, new data and training session. Or else, if we see this phenomenon called model drift, which makes the AI output a little bit irrelevant over a period of time. So, yeah. So that is the entire this thing. Okay. Now, few more things I think you people should know for the
Sir,
beginning.
sir,
Yeah.
sir, can you go back to the picture, sir? The diagram. Uh, this one, sir. So this AWS step function, what are the tools you're using, sir, to achieve this one?
Oh,
Are you
step.
using Python?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So in step functions, those are basically some connectors. Okay.
Connectors, sir. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I'll show that as well. Okay. So when we're working in a ecosystem like AWS, we're working in a different services, right? We're working with different services. Now we need to somehow connect those different services. Like, so for example, I'll give you a simple example. Like if you're working in a, like, let's say, manufacturing plant, like car manufacturing plant, it has different assembly lines, right? One is like paint job, the another one is washing assembly, then another one will be uh, that screw and nut bolts that tightening that assembly. The another one assembly will be giving the shape to the different panels of the car, right? So these are different services. These are different modules. Now, of course, there is a robotic system and machine working to make sure that every raw material gets into the assembly line and it goes to different stages in a synchronized manner so that nothing stops and everything goes properly. Okay. uh, this is what step function is actually doing. Okay. So it does the integration. Okay. It does the integration like what is the starting point, what is the stage one, what is the stage two, what is the stage three. So this is basically like a planner. Step functions are basically like a planner that has lot of connectors to integrate with different services. Okay. Different services, and it will trigger those services at its proper time. So it's like a planner that is connected to all the services in the AWS ecosystem. You got it
Yeah,
right.
fine, fine. Yeah, fine, fine, sir. Now, can I go back to that picture, sir, once again? Just I'm trying to understand the center. So
Yeah.
glue is it process the and it makes the structure and saves in S3 and pipelines, SageMaker pipelines. What it does, sir, model development.
Yeah. So SageMaker, like I told you, uh,
Say,
it is.
say for example, now we have data. We have data, structured data, and
Mhm.
now with that structured data, we're going to prepare the model deployment, sir.
Right. So SageMaker, it is a AI ecosystem to train and deploy your model. Okay. Now, in SageMaker, it has lot of. Yeah. So this is what it does: build, train, and deploy machine learning model at scale. Okay. Now, what are the things it has? See, it is a complete AI ecosystem environment. Okay. So you can use any of the environments that you want to do. Write your custom code. Basically, whatever data you have got from the do and S3, you can feed in the data in this module, this assembly, to like in a very layman term, then write your custom code to train the model on your code and also deploy that. Okay, also deploy that now. Okay, so here are the different environments that you have. Like one is the studio, then canvas, R studio. Now these are all tensor boards. So if I so see, this is very interesting about our AWS. Okay, now let's say I want to use R studio or tensor board. Okay, I can do it in two manners. So if you see R studio is, it's a basically open source, uh, that thing, statistical analytical and AI ecosystem. Okay, R studio. Okay, you can simply install R language and download it, and you can actually do work on your laptop as well. Okay, but the point is that AWS has thing already built in. You don't have to install it. You don't have to go through this entire this thing and set up in your laptop, then write everything from scratch. You don't have to do that. You just simply come and click here. It is
Okay.
already available. Okay,
Okay.
so it takes away the pain of setting up and creating custom things in your laptop, and because it already has it has already done the customization. Okay, so you don't even need a powerful laptop. So if you need to do R studio in your local laptop, it needs a lot of good hardware, like good CPU, good GPU, and those laptops come costly, like 1 lakh, that kind of budget, right? Not everyone can afford it. But what AWS R Studio will give you in a fraction of money, maybe monthly 3,000, 4,000, you can start doing the work. Okay. Similarly, TensorBoard, like okay, so TensorBoard is a very popular, uh, AI ecosystem by Google. Okay, TensorFlow is from Google, and they have this service called TensorFlow. Okay, now in TensorFlow board, you can actually write your code in TensorFlow, Python TensorFlow, completely from scratch. You can see the outputs, you can see the model structure as well. You can track different parameters, different versions of the model, and basically you can train your entire ecosystem, like from training to training the model to deployment of the model. This is fully open source. It's nothing like that you have to pay money for to download the TensorFlow and install. But to install it in a laptop and actually use it, you need a very good laptop. Like I said, around 1 lakh budget. That kind of laptop is it's capable of running this kind of AI ecosystem. SageMaker gives you out of the box in a fraction of money, like 2 to 3 thousand per month, whatever the subscription cost will be. Okay, you got a point, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. All right. Any other questions?
Nothing, nothing, sir.
Okay, so let's go to this model monitor as well. Okay, that will like, good for your curiosity. So, wow, okay, 1 second. I think they have now integrated in the SageMaker itself. Yeah, the model monitor is going to be a part of the SageMaker itself. Uh, okay, I have to check back where they have integrated that. So earlier it used to be a different service, but they might have integrated inside the SageMaker itself directly. All right. Uh, I'll update you on that. Okay. Now, this is what the entire AWS ecosystem is all about. You have all the tools already open source, but if you want to do that at scale, it is a very, that thing, daunting task. So that's why AWS has given all these different services in the ecosystem so that you can do it automatically. And when I said automatically, we can do it using step functions. Okay, step functions. Because we can trigger the take step functions in such a way that it can do the same task, automating that thing in a regular interval. For example, let's say I have a product like health and fitness. Everybody might have used any kind of tracker, like how much food you eat, how much calorie you are burning. That kind of app is there, right? Now, let's say I am a owner of a health fitness tracker app. Okay. Now I have the data coming on a daily basis, like because people are entering the data on a daily basis, right? What they are eating, what they are not eating, and based on that, I have to do some suggestion or some kind of recommendation, like yeah, you should eat this food today, or and you should avoid this food today, right? Now, I am getting the data in a daily basis. So basically, I need to make sure that data actually goes through the entire processing pipeline, goes through the model training, and we again get an updated model maybe every week. So if I have to do this entire thing in my own laptop, basically I have to turn on my laptop and then trigger this entire thing in my laptop every week. But in using AWS step function, I can basically automate it. I can tell it AWS just run this entire pipeline every week at this time. It will do that automatically. I don't have to bother about it. Getting the point. So basically, it's automating the complete workflow as well. Okay, in a regular interval that we want to run the entire pipeline. Okay, and the last and most important advantage of AWS is AWS AI is that the people that are running the business are already in AWS. They're already using AWS using AWS EC2 instances, AWS compute. One second, Elastic EC2, EC2, EC2. Why it is not coming?
S3, S3, S3.
Yeah, AWS EC2 instance, AWS S3, there people are already using. And what else they are using? ECS, they
Yes.
are already Elastic Containers. These things are already being used the different industry. Okay, already. Now, what they need to do, they just need to incorporate this AI services into their existing product line, and they are good to go. Okay, they don't have to run everything from scratch. So that's the best advantage of learning AWS and AI. Now, like I said, there is a prerequisite that we are expecting that you people will be knowing some basics of Python. Okay, some basics of Python. Okay, if not all. Okay, so we have another 15 minutes left. I'll show you a quick demo how we can actually use uh, Bedrock. Okay, how we can actually use Bedrock uh, to run this thing. Create a simple chatbot. Okay, I'll go through step by step actually, so that you can actually understand the technicalities behind it. Okay, uh, let me. So this is Botto tree. Okay, now when you are actually working with AWS, you don't have to go to the UI again and again, right? That UI, user interface. You don't want to do that directly from there, because you are a developer. You need to do it in a very smarter way and in a very convenient way. So Botto tree is the library. Okay, you guys can take a note. Botto tree. Okay, Botto tree is the library provided by AWS to interact with their ecosystem in a programmatic way from a developer's point of view. Understood what I'm saying? Okay. AWS has a Python bottle tree to create, configure, and manage AWS services, any services, all of them. Okay. If not all, like almost 99% of them. Okay. To interact with them from a coding environment. So that is one. Now JSON is basically JSON library. UID I have actually used to create unique IDs for each of the conversion session. And we have the load.env to load the env file. I can't share you the on screen. I can't share you the password and credentials, so I have hidden it using env file, and I have actually loaded it using from that file directly. Okay, now what do I need? How do I get these two things from AWS? I have to create a account. Okay, for creating the account, uh, for creating the account, what you need to do, you have to, you can go for creating an account. So you can simply put your credentials and information, and after that you can actually go for this IAM. You can create either a root account and also a IAM. Okay, IAM is basically identity access management. So that is so every service that you use at some point of time has some kind of authentication module, right? Authentication module means that creates your username, password, all those things, right? So this is the IAM is the module. We call it Identity Access Management in AWS, which is responsible to create all the users and whatever the roles that particular user should have, and what are the policies, like everything. Okay, this is basically kind of account management in AWS. Okay, so by creating a IAM role and then getting the right access to the AWS Bedrock, like I already mentioned that for AWS Bedrock we need to actually uh, request access to their LLMs, because they don't give you out of the box. Okay, you go to AWS Bedrock homepage, select the model catalog, select the model that you want to do, and once you click on it, you will be raising a request. So I'll show you how. So let's say I'm in the 3.5 sonnet v2. I want to use that from Anthropic. So I have to do what? I have to go for uh, I already have access actually. That's why it is not giving me that button again. But here it will show you. Oh yes, I have that available to request. So if you click here available to request, it will check your request whether you are eligible to use that or not, and they will approve you. Yeah, once it is approved, basically you can actually start using that. What is the API request look like? This is how you can actually call the API request. Okay, we'll see that in the chat. Okay, the application. So here I have got my credentials. I have connected to Botto tree. Okay, this is the Botto tree, and what it is trying to do, it is trying to use service name is Bedrock runtime, because Botto tree can access a bunch of AWS services. So here I am just simply using Bedrock runtime that I want to use this service, and I have also tell the region. Okay, why region is important? Because every service is not available for every region. Now, when I say region, I am actually meaning this compute region. Region is basically AWS actually categorize different parts of the world into some categorize them into some region. Okay, like US is the one, US North is there, even Mumbai is also a region. So those kind of different, there are a lot of regions. Okay, So we are trying to use the Bedrock service from this region, okay, where it is hosted, okay, and I pass on the access key and the secret key, okay, which means I am now authenticated. And what is the model I want to use? I want to model use Claude 3.7 Sonnet. This is the model. Okay. So if you so in the go in the model catalog, here I am in the 3.5 page. That's why it is showing me 3.5. So every model has a ID that is in the AWS Bedrock ecosystem. Every model has a ID. So I am using this particular model ID, which is Entropy Claude 3.7 Sonnet as of 2025 19 February version. Okay, this is the timestamp that tells you what is the model last updated, when the model is last updated. And what do I mean by updated? I mean by this. I mean update by this. Like this is the entire pipeline every organization runs to train their own model. Okay, so when we deploy a model, we mark it like on which date it has been updated. Okay, so this 3.7 Sonnet 1 has been last updated at 19th of February 2025. Okay, that's what it
Okay.
tells us.
This
Yeah.
model is AWS given model, sir.
If your voice is actually a little bit low, can you speak a little louder?
This model actually AWS given model, or we made the model.
No. So AWS Bedrock has two kind of things. Okay, one is you can also train your own LLM, and
Ah,
they also give something out of the box. Okay,
okay.
so that you don't have to do it from scratch.
Ah,
Okay.
okay, okay. This is provided by the AWS LLM, large language model, right?
Yes, large language
Okay,
model. So this is the
okay,
model catalog. What
okay.
are the providers? These are the providers. So
Got
AWS.
it, got it, sir. Got it, got it.
Okay. So I'm using a built-in one. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Now we have another function to create the message, because when you're actually talking to a LLM in AWS Bedrock, we have to assign the role, like that particular LLM is an assistant, and this is like, hello, hi, I can help you today. Like this is a kind of conversation initializer. Okay, like if I am talking, I should be assigned as a user. So that communication, actually that conversation becomes more like a uh, user assistant, that kind of thing. Okay. uh, so we can also we have to invoke Claude with conversation history. Now, when you're actually building a chat application, like if you're chatting with someone in WhatsApp, you want to make sure that you remember what is the previous conversion. Based on that, you'll be giving some output, right? So we need to pass the conversation history so that it can make sense of the next question. Okay, so that it can make sense of the next question. If we don't pass it, we can actually stop it. Okay, we can easily stop it. We can pass some uh, that thing here. uh, what is that? Yeah, so here conversation, I'm appending it. If I don't append the conversation history, it will not have any memory of our previous conversation. But it's always good to have a previous conversation up to some extent, because then we get contextual reply. Contextual means looks like we're chatting with a human rather than chatting with a robot. Okay. Uh, okay. There are few parameters. Okay. Anthropic version is this 31st May Bedrock 2023. What is this? This is the provider version. This is not the LLM version. Anthropic is the provider, so they have actually they have assigned that provider version as well. So it doesn't make much sense to us, but because this is just a ID, it is not actually gonna be used. What is important is this one. Is this one? Okay, model ID, not the provider ID. Okay. Now max tokens. Have you guys understood about tokens, or have you heard about tokens, or do I need to go over that? Can you give me an idea? Anyone?
No, I don't know, sir.
Okay. So what is tokens? I'll tell you. Okay. Uh, so these are very basic things in AI. Okay. Very basic things in AI. You should know these terminologies. In fact, I'll be writing it down. You just take a screenshot whenever you feel free. Okay. Uh, Tokens. Now tokens. Let's say I am playing football. Now this is a sentence, but when you pass this sentence to a chat application or a LLM, it doesn't see it like in this way. Okay, what it sees it like this. Okay, uh, something like this, something like this. So what is happening? Playing it has broken into two pieces. Why? Because it might have others. It looks at as a piece of token. Like play is a very single word. Okay, if I added ing, it becomes a present tense. If I simply replace it with ed, it becomes a past tense. So it becomes easier for machine to break down each of the word into some convenient form. Okay, that's what we call it token. This is a word, this is a token. Are you getting the point? Tokens are basically kind of pieces of word that make sense. Okay, that's what the tokens are. It breaks down the word. Okay, so that it can play around the words in a very convenient way. Basically, if I uh, token plus token, so I don't know if it is makes sense to you, because this is a kind of very fundamental thing in AI. So multiple tokens, it more than one tokens can create a fresh word. That's the idea. Okay, if I look at this machine like playing is as a single word, then it also has to save uh, played as a word. Okay, but if it simply saves play as a word, then it can simply either do plus ing to make it a playing, or it can simply do ed to make it play past tense, right? So in this case, what is happening? It is saving memory. It is reutilizing that word again and again, and just doing some customization on top of it to come up with a new word. So that's what we call a token. It's a segmentation of word itself that is efficiently doing the word manipulation. Okay, that's what it is, right? So how many that kind of maximum token we need? We need maximum 4096. Okay, why? Because every model comes along with some kind of constraints, that how much it can actually output in the token side. Temperature, again, this is a very fundamental to the entire AI ecosystem. I will not go into it now because it's gonna be taking a complete lecture on this. Again, top P, top K, those are very fundamental thing. I'll not go in this first class because it might feel very hectic to do that as of now. Now, once I set up everything and pass the conversation, now I should be ready for the chatbot. Okay. Now, this is all it takes to utilize an AI ecosystem from AWS. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Uh, so I have run that thing. Here you see. So now I this is a kind of, it's a fully fledged now chatbot. Okay. Let me see. Uh, okay. Uh, so I said hi. So I got a reply from the assistant. Hello, hi, Ben, and I left. Feel free to ask me question. Let me know what you would like to discuss. Now this thing is coming from straight from this Claude. Okay, I have been signed out. For, okay, I don't know why I have been signed out. Uh, but we got the point, right? It is straight coming from the AWS Bedrock environment using that. Uh,
Okay,
where,
got it, sir. It is backend. It is connecting to AWS Bedrock, right?
right, right. It is
Okay,
coming out. I'm able to chat with that. Now
okay,
let
okay.
me
Sir,
how
we do one.
how
Okay,
to
sir. How
learn
to?
about how to use AI in AWS. Like this is what a kind of we're doing it, right? How to use
Okay.
AI in AWS. If I run this question, it will
How to use AI in AWS?
yeah. Now it is gonna take some time because it's gonna be a little bit longer answer. Okay.
Okay,
So
sir. Sir, can you give one realistic, sir? Okay. It gives some, oh, okay. Very good. It is like
Okay,
ChatGPT, sir. ChatGPT,
it is
like
like
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT. Yeah,
Okay.
but rather
Sir,
than
can
doing
you,
using it on your own, now using the
uh,
AI ecosystem, you are doing it in just 10 minutes.
yeah. Sir, can you give this question, sir? Who won
Uh-huh.
yesterday IPL match?
Yes, so that is not going to be answered because we have not entered any knowledge base.
Okay.
You understood what I'm saying? Now this is the
Okay.
catch where we would be needing that. All right, let me see if I'm able to log in again. Yeah, I'm logged in again. Okay. Now, what do I mean? So you want me to ask this question: Who won IPL
Yesterday.
yesterday? Yesterday, right? Now it will tell me something that it don't have that information. Okay.
Okay. Maybe it is not trained.
No, no,
It's
no.
not
That's not
connected.
that's not the case. Okay. It even if it is become trained now, it will say that it doesn't have real time information. I see. I don't have real time information, right?
Uh,
That's why it is not able to answer. So how do I give him the real time knowledge now? By using this pipeline.
okay.
You get it what I'm saying now? Because
Yes,
if
yes, yes.
I have some kind of data coming from regarding the IPL events, I can feed it
Mm.
into the AWS Group, transform it, pass it to the knowledge base here now. Where is the knowledge base? I told you, right? This is the knowledge base.
Okay, okay.
So it will automatically keep on coming. I don't have to do it
Mm.
every day
Okay.
because I have how we can do it. We can do it using AWS step function. I can instruct a step function like, hey,
Oh,
every night pass all the IPL information to AWS Glue.
okay.
Once it is ready, pass all the information to knowledge base in AWS Bedrock. Now it has all the updated every day, every night it has all the updated information.
So all the data it has to store in knowledge base. From knowledge base, it will read and it gives us the output, right?
Right, right.
Yeah.
That's what
Okay,
it is.
okay. Got it,
Now
got it.
are you seeing the ecosystem how it is working? You are able to understand the ecosystem how
Yes,
it is
yes,
working, right?
yes, yes.
So this is what it is. So see how easy it is to build a
Sir,
chatbot.
and one more
Uh-huh.
question, sir. I will
Mhm.
not ask more than after this question. See, can scroll down, sir? Can you please scroll down?
Mhm.
Scroll down, scroll down. Still. Okay, okay. Here, sir. Okay. So, common implementation patterns is there, no? ML apps set up CI/CD pipeline with AWS code pipeline and SageMaker, no?
Mhm.
That we're covering in this classes, sir.
Yes, yes, yes. So when I say this model deployment,
Okay,
this deployment actually comes under MLOps.
okay, okay, okay. Got it, sir. Okay.
Got it? All right.
So,
So deploy models, endpoints, and SageMaker. Set up CI/CD by AWS pipeline. This is basically MLOps is kind of an advanced stage of deployment. Okay.
okay,
So we will be also touching that. Okay. We'll be
okay.
also
Got
touching
it.
that. So you got it now. You got the idea.
Yes, 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 sir.
All
Yes.
right. So I think we are almost more than up to that time. Any questions? Any questions?
Yeah, hi Ricky. Uh,
Yeah.
so, will you going to cover all the AWS services, or are you able to cover only this AI kind of thing?
So we'll be working with SageMaker, mainly SageMaker, AWS Bedrock, and AWS Recognition. Rest of the things are basically kind of becoming little bit irrelevant as per what the industry requirement right now is. Okay. So AWS Glue, I'll show you how to use that in an AWS S3. SageMaker will be also using AWS Amazon Recognition to show you how it works. And AWS Bedrock, I have already given you a little bit of that thing only itself. So we'll be also going into the AWS Bedrock thing. Okay. So AWS Bedrock, AWS SageMaker, and AWS Glue, S3, and AWS Step Functions. These are the four things that is right now more than enough in a AWS AI ecosystem. Okay.
So, and can you
Rest,
show the examples how we are going to incorporate with AI with the other services in AWS? Like how we can incorporate this service AI with
Yes.
EC2 and
So,
S3 or
yeah,
IAM?
so repeat that last thing.
I mean, so we are going to implement this AI into AWS services, right? So are you going to show examples that like how we are going to incorporate this AI with
Yes, yes,
EC?
we'll be building some pipelines. Okay,
Mhm.
we'll be building some pipelines that connects all these different services and work in sync. Okay,
Okay.
so step functions, Glue and S3, SageMaker, and Bedrock will use these primary four services in synchronization, set up a AI pipeline, and how to do that. And that is actually almost 80% of the time you have to work with only this thing. Okay. Rest of the things are also there, like Amazon Transcribe is there, Amazon Poly, Comprehend, those are there. But these things are becoming now not in demand. Not in demand means doesn't have that much of requirement because of this generative AI taking over. Since this generative AI has come, this thing has become slowly, non-demanding. It's out of demand slowly, slowly. Okay, slowly, slowly. So that's why we're not going to focus on the what that is not on demand. We'll be focusing on what is on demand. The demand is in step function, AWS Glue S3, SageMaker, and AWS Bedrock. Okay, these are the four things that is highly on demand. Additionally, we will be also touching up on Amazon recognition. Okay,
What of the course duration, Ricky?
it would be I think 35 days. 35 days.
Oh,
35 hours, sir. 35 hours.
35 hours. It will be little bit extra. Like we can always have additional classes and question answering sessions. So 35 days, but it can go up to 40 as well. Okay.
Okay. So generative AI also will be covered, no, sir, in this?
Yes, when we are talking about AWS Bedrock, when we are talking about Amazon Bedrock, it is a generative AI.
Okay, okay, got it, got it.
Got it? So AWS
Yes.
Bedrock is all about generative AI.
Okay, okay.
Maybe as part of this course, right? Like, uh, are you planning to even cover agentic AI, or it will be restricted to only generative AI?
No, for now it will be only for generative AI. Agentic AI you can go, but agentic AI, this 35 to 40 days is not enough because agentic AI has a whole new world of concepts, other concepts. In fact, I have to cover you other things like tokens. What are these? This thing. Temperature, what is the top K, what is this top P. I need to cover you those things. Without generative AI foundation, it is almost impossible to go to agentic AI. Okay.
Then a follow-up question, right? Like, so, and would other aspects like Lambda functions or prompt management, are these topics part of the course?
What management? Prop management.
Prompt management.
Okay, so those things are actually not in the AI ecosystem. Those things are mostly into the backend deployment. Like Lambda service, we mostly use for backend deployment.
Hmm.
Okay, so those are not specifically for AI. Okay,
Okay,
so but
okay.
yeah, because the AI application you can actually build and deploy using this SageMaker, this model and those stuffs. Okay, if you want to build an entire application that has kind of database, it has code, other codes, other different things. In that case, you have to use Lambda service. So uh, you know, it's a complete serverless environment where you deploy your entire application. Okay, so it's not only limited to AI. Are you getting what I'm saying? So
True, but even for generative AI, right? Like, let's say we need to connect to other systems, right? Without a
yeah,
Lambda, how would we do
for,
that?
for that we'll not go for Lambda because it is a serverless thing. Here, you have to do many other things. Maybe you will be going with a EC2 instance for now for deployment to keep it
Okay.
easy. Okay, we'll be using a EC2 instance for sure. Okay, we'll be using a EC2 instance for sure for deploying the application. into the AWS ecosystem. But Lambda, it will be too much actually to do within this 35-40 days. Okay.
And the part of the course, right? You mentioned that about model training, right? Like, so just want to just double click on it, right? Like in sense, like, uh, we have different providers, right? And then we have different models.
Mhm.
So would model training be covered as part of the course?
Yeah, model training will be covering under AWS SageMaker. Okay, will be covering under AWS SageMaker. So in AWS SageMaker, like I told you, we can do customization or create our own model, do our own AI training on our custom data, right?
Mhm.
So we'll do that using AWS Amazon SageMaker.
Got it. Got it. Okay.
So
And just
yeah,
to maybe not to take away too much time, but can you briefly explain like what do you mean by saying training a model?
training the model is basically whatever the data we have got
Mhm.
from our any sources. We first
Mhm.
actually uh, structure and clean it, right, using these steps, right? Once we do that, we actually feed the data into a SageMaker environment. Okay. Now, SageMaker environment is nothing but a AI ecosystem. Okay. It's a complete AI ecosystem. So the training data, when I say AI model training, we put a algorithm and data. Okay. So for your understanding, I'll just simply so AI training is nothing but AI algorithm plus clean data. Okay. So
Got it.
we'll have an algorithm. We need to pass on a clean data onto it, right? Now, how the algorithm works, that's another whole chapter. Now we have optimizations, we have back propagation, we have gradient descent algorithm, we have supervised, unsupervised learning, we have clustering algorithms. There's so many bunch of algorithms out there. Okay, if I just simply ask this, okay, let me ask here only for what are uh, common AI algorithms. Okay, so
Mhm.
it will give you a complete list of AI algorithms. So what we need to do, we need to get our clean data from AWS Glue S3. We need to find the right algorithm for our use case, feed in those data to that algorithm. That's what AI algorithm is. Okay, AI training is. Okay, so here you see, like I was saying, supervised learning we have.
Mhm.
It has a bunch of algorithms. We have unsupervised algorithm learning. It has another set of that thing. We have deep learning algorithms like artificial neural. Like we have discussed in this beginning, right? Then we have reinforcement learning, Q learning, deep Q networks, policy gradient methods. So many algorithms are there. Natural language processing. We have BERT, GPT. GPT is basically the algorithm that is powering the Chat GPT. Okay, so just for your curiosity, GPT is the algorithm that is actually used in ChatGPT AI. Okay, so we have computer vision, YOLO, RCNN, UNet, ResNet. So many algorithms are there. So when we have some kind of data, we need to find the right algorithm, which one to use for our use case. Okay, for our use
Got it.
case. So
And
once we find the right algorithm, we feed in the data.
mhm.
Okay, and we iterate it for optimization. We iterate the algorithm for optimization using different optimizations algorithm out there. Adam, gradient descent, stochastic gradient descent, those are different algorithms out there to the optimization, and that's how it becomes gets trained. Okay, now if you want to understand the fundamentals of machine learning and how AI algorithm work, that's not the goal of this course.
Got
The
it.
goal of the course is that to how to choose the right AI algorithm and just feed in the data and get the output, not to understand how to create an AI algorithm. Are you getting the point?
Got it. Makes sense. Makes sense. And so just to extend it, right? Like how different is fine tuning from training?
Okay, so fine tuning is basically you already have a model.
Mhm.
Okay, now what you want to do, you want to update the model on your specific domain, or let's say on a new data. Okay, so that's what you actually feed in new information. You run the optimization again without losing the additional model. You don't need to train it from scratch. Okay, you freeze some layers in the neural network. You freeze some layers and you keep some layers ready for updating. Okay, so that updating is called fine tuning. So simply say, when you actually do the AI training, it's like installing a new software from scratch. Okay,
Mhm.
and fine tuning is like updating. You already have the app installed, you're just updating it. Okay,
And that updation is done through
fine tuning.
KB or fine tuning is a separate module itself. Okay.
Yeah, so fine tuning you can do in AWS Bedrock as well for a large language model.
Mhm.
Okay, and if you want to do fine tuning on custom models, you can do that in SageMaker.
Got it.
Okay, so simple ask. Let's make it interactive. Okay, how to do uh, fine tuning in AWS? Let's see. Yeah, it can. So see, fine tuning in AI, it has given me a response. I have asked this how to do fine tuning in AWS, fine tuning AI models in AWS. Okay, so of course the SageMaker, like I told you, okay, we can do that. SageMaker, we can take any pre-trained model if we have it. If we don't have it, we have to create one. So we can simply create a fine tuning job. Okay, like SageMaker Hugging Face, we can do the fine tuning using Hugging Face library, and we can deploy. In Amazon Bedrock also we can do that. Like I mentioned, for LLM, we can feed in new data to do the fine tuning. Okay, got the point?
Got it. Yep. Thank you.
All right. So these are different aspects. Fine tuning and training a model. These are two different things. Okay. Just for a layman way, I am telling you, fine tuning is like updating a installed app. Training is like installing a new app. Okay. All right. What else? Any other questions? Any further doubts?
Uh, to practice this all tools, whatever is available, whatever is required for this AWS AI. So, so
We
this
need.
free account is enough, or you need to pay?
So that's what. So AWS gives a free tier. Okay, free
Hmm.
tier for 3 months. Okay.
Yeah, one year,
So
1 year.
no, three, it depends. Not 1 year, or you can't say always 1 year. For
Uh,
EC2, it's 3 months. For other
uh,
services, it can be limited, right? So
hmm,
for services, some services it goes up to 1 year. Okay, so it's up
hmm,
to 1 year, but it gives some free tier. Okay, so you can create your own account and actually experiment with that. Additionally, the institute, I'll see check with them, is there any kind of mechanism they give access to the AWS ecosystem. I am not sure about that, okay, at this point.
that's what. Since that's AI related, it will be expensive, I think. But I'm not sure. Just I'm asking this question.
Yeah, so there are some kind of free tier available, but I'll check with the institute as well, administration as well, institute authority, like if they have kind of mechanism to share some AWS ecosystem for the trainees to practice. Huh?
Okay.
I'll check with them. So yeah, so all right then.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, we'll see you soon. We'll be in touch. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thanks for.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.